Yeah, I'm all ready, man. You guys keep killing me.
That's right. It's time for Victor Allen's new Sportz. Hot, neo-urban, and sexy. Brought to you by the bald-headed black man. Here's Vic. Yeah.
I'm gonna take my time on this. Everybody, exhale. Also, DeVoe, you feel better because you gave me that Grinch look a little while ago. When Mario had that picture of both of you guys are in D.C., so I felt kind of bad.
There's no
I always have Washington.
We have nothing in Washington.
It's a secret now.
Nothing in Washington. Nothing happened.
That hurts me when you say that. You know
nothing happened.
You know it hurts me when you say that.
See how rumors start?
Oh, et tu, Brute.
Started by the jealous.
Et tu, Brute.
So you know there should be the number 13 when a man lies about cheating on his woman. Then Mario's face is right there.
Oh.
All right, you guys. Welcome to New Sports. This
Sexy
is a segment.
sports, okay? Norman said sexy sports, Victor.
Well, if it is, you know, the ladies in the room, because believe it or not, no one says that unless you guys are in the room. So you must be bringing something. So really what it is that I'm proud of you guys because, you know, you can always speed up a sports segment by saying, oh, whatever, next. But you guys get involved. So let me just tell you what happened recently because there was a Monday night football game. And if you're from Chicago or in the Chicago area, you tend to follow the Bears. Now, the Chicago Bears, they won 13-6 against, of course, the Detroit Lions. Now, that's not as big as what has happened. The quarterback got sacked by a guy named Sue. You know when a sack happens?
Yeah.
Like a girl, it's like a guy named Sue.
That's right. So
remember the song, A Boy Named Sue?
The Chicago Bears quarterback got sacked.
That's right. Now,
so the sacker is a 96 guy.
Number 90, Ndamukong Suh, did a leg whip claim.
Yeah, boom, right up under there.
You're right.
Legal?
You know what? This girl's got. Give me that because you did the lead in. The lead in is that a wide receiver Brandon Marshall from the Chicago Bears said this was an illegal sack because of the leg whip.
That can't be.
But that doesn't.
Well, that's not the leg whip.
This is
the
not
leg
wrestling.
whip that's illegal refers to because I did it. It was taught when I played football. You were taught to do leg whip.
Right.
But that can't be right.
That's just how things. So no,
it seems like it should.
But it's an offensive lineman maneuver that you can use when you miss a block or to set up a block.
It look like they're wrestling down there.
So I don't know that that's illegal.
It should be.
Now you hit the nail on the head because watching the game and Ndamukong Suh has always been controversial.
You may not like it, but I don't know.
I've never seen anybody do that.
I never watched football.
I've been watching.
But now imagine.
I think you could call a personal foul, but.
What did they do though?
But I think there's no rule. I think there's no rule that applies to this. Right?
No call.
I think it's a good sack actually.
When you're 290 pounds of muscle landing on your shoulder blades, you think of the injury. So he did. Of course, Jay Cutler, the quarterback, did go out temporarily. But
he had to look at him.
Vic, I don't know that the leg whip made him any more likely to hurt his leg. By the way, in other words, if you look at the leg whip,
he fell.
Let's just say he hadn't the leg whipped him and just pulled him down.
Right.
No.
That may have been more harmful.
Right.
Than just the whipping of him because what he does is he whips him off his feet.
And he protects him from hitting the ground so
No,
hard.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just imagine if he just pulled him down this way.
Okay.
He would have been pulled in an abnormal way. That's more likely. To hurt his knee.
Right.
No.
I don't know.
No.
That's why they didn't call him.
DeVoe, what do you have to say?
But you don't know anything about football.
I don't have to know. I'm watching this over and over and over and over again. And you know, when I start watching, I start seeing.
Right.
Okay.
No.
What do you see? What's no? What's no?
Him throwing that leg around like that and then throwing his body on him crushed his shoulder. If he would have just thrown him flat down like that, maybe he would have just fell on his back, but he wouldn't have crushed his shoulder.
The only thing I think is a possible foul is how he brought his arm down on his helmet. That's what I would call him for.
Yes,
that's the only part right there.
Right
the arm down on his helmet is the only thing I see.
Enough.
Well, that's the only thing.
That is enough.
I would call him for that, but that's all you can get him for.
So how come they didn't call him? They still got
because it's a close call.
Substitute referees.
It's a close call.
Well, let me say that.
We're not saying that it's a definite call.
I'm just asking whether substitute referees.
No, but we're not saying. Vic and I are saying that it's not. That Vic and I have basically said, according to the current rules, there's nothing illegal here.
It's a clean hit, Max says.
Yes. Mark, go to the second image. The second image, here's another view. Now look at this view, and look, he actually almost horse collars, but he doesn't. But he took the brunt of his weight to force him down.
Thank you, Victor.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
So the part,
that's football.
Right.
No.
See, in my day, there would have been no question that they wouldn't have said anything. In my day, that was really how it was even worse.
Yeah.
In my day, if I was trying to sack a quarterback,
In your day, where were you playing? In the street?
football. No.
I mean, you didn't play pro football.
No, but I'm just saying I played high school and college, and the rules were the same. The rules just recently changed.
For the good.
For the good, because that's ridiculous.
That is.
Stop showing me that shot.
But you're the Earth Mother. We don't want to play football your way.
What's painful
We don't want to play football your kind of football.
Serious. DeVoe, what's really painful is that I would be less worried about it being illegal and more worried about almost 300 pounds of force
injury
coming
for
down.
the poor little
guy.
Yeah,
that's right.
Is that him crying?
They don't have little. They don't have little skinny mofos playing.
Cutler.
We want you to
poor
feel.
guy.
Now wait a minute. Now I want to set something up here. DeVoe, you actually are right, because his offensive lineman Lewis, as you see him standing over him, said, "Hey Jay,
are you
did
okay?
Did they call you a son of a bitch?" And basically, it's
are you hurt,
it's Ndamukong saying, "I'm gonna get you, you SOB."
He's just a dirty player anyway.
That's right. So
who, Cutler?
Ndamukong.
Oh yeah,
but like I said,
look at him.
I don't see nothing illegal,
for your
Vic.
sandwiches in elementary
I don't see nothing illegal because let me tell you the other thing. Remember, I said the way his arm came down on his helmet was the issue. From this view, he doesn't even put as much pressure on his head as I thought he did.
Right.
If you look now, his arm's on his helmet.
Right.
There's a little pressure, but it ain't as much as I thought it was.
That's right. So
he still more landed on his shoulder and his body.
So Max says if there's two players that hit him from high and low, that's a foul. Okay, but just him is not a foul.
So now this is where we get to do the setup here, because you guys did the same thing everybody else did.
You can't hit them low because they have rules now to protect the players' needs. See, with Mac in the old days, you could.
Right.
You could hit them low.
So nobody wants to hear me say that the game is barbaric, right?
It
is barbaric.
Now, wait a minute.
It is, okay.
Let me say
this is Spartacus without the sword.
It is. Wait a minute. That's why we played it, because we're manly men. They play the way men play.
Let me say this. I got me another, because I was about to lead in and say, who's Big Pimp? Are we going to say this right offhand, that the big baller... The big baller in the game here is the guy who actually sacked the quarterback. That goes without saying. Because if it's not illegal, he did the right thing. But I'm going to take it to another level because I have to explain something. And I need Jesse to be on board with this one.
That's when they throw you down and kick your legs apart.
For those of you who don't know, we actually have these categories that go to ballin', big pimpin', something for the ladies, whatever, AARP, let down and upset, and then the recent new one called spanked that ass. So we're going to say, you got to tell me, DeVoe, starting with you, because I'm going to get to Jesse.
Start with me, because I can tell you right now it's a big letdown. And here, if PMC said that mug that missed the block, are you talking about the guy that should have stopped this big hurricane from hitting Cutler?
Yes, speed.
You don't know football.
I don't care.
You know scars.
It's a lot.
So wait a minute.
A big letdown.
It's a letdown.
You know hair.
Now let me go to Jesse, because Jesse thinks, for you guys who understand, she separates the sport and then the aggressiveness and what they're allowed to do with being is barbaric.
Trying to lead me.
So I'm going to take her away from that, because I want her to do this. If you had a man that was playing football, which person would you want your man to represent? The quarterback?
Cutler?
Or number 90 Ndamukong Suh?
Number 90!
So if barbaric is cool.
Well, you know.
See, so conditions change, right?
Right.
So now vote. Upset, let down, whatever, big pimping for number 90, something for the ladies, AARP, or did he just spank that ass?
He just spanked that ass.
I
knew that. Well, you led her to say that.
I did not.
I'm
DeVoe,
just saying.
Since you made him my man.
I'm just saying, yeah.
DeVoe.
Now that's her man. What if that Cutler was her man? Because I was going to choose Cutler. I wasn't going to choose the fat guy who pushed him down. I was going to choose the little guy that got tackled.
So if that's your man, you want your man to be the quarterback?
I'm saying if that was my man Cutler.
Yeah, well,
that's what I'm saying. If that was my man Cutler,
right now,
I'm saying that wouldn't be cool.
It's a Twilight Zone moment. And somebody said, we're going to put your man on professional football and have them on the field. And he says, oh, which position? He says, you're either the quarterback or you're that defensive lineman who chases the quarterback. And your man is standing next to you saying, I'm about to go in my Twilight Zone mode, baby. Which role should I play? What are you going to say, DeVoe?
That is so leading into what I'm supposed to answer. Of course I'm going to say, baby, knock that guy down on his behind.
You would say that?
Well, of course.
And you natural.
I am, but I don't want him to get knocked down.
Yeah, so bottom line, under the condition.
What kind of girlfriend would I be? Say, be the Cutler guy.
Right. So under the right way and condition, what we're all saying is be nice, have a softer game. But if my man or my woman, depending on the sport you're involved in, hey, I'm going to pick the one that says, spank that ass, right?
Right.
You don't like being
Except for with the woman. I don't want the woman spanking that ass.
Wait a minute.
Why not?
Time out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It's all right as long as you dress up.
I want to ask the chat room. You got me fumbling. How do you guys feel about a woman saying that she doesn't want the man to spank that ass, if you know what I mean?
No, it's not a choice thing. You ain't supposed to want it. Just take it.
Well, we're talking.
They're taking it somewhere else to vote. That's
okay.
Come on.
Taking it the way it is.
Don't answer that chat room. No.
Oh,
sports.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you was talking about you didn't want the man to. I'm sorry. I apologize, you guys. I led her into my morality is being checked.
I'm a little embarrassed when my boyfriend spanks my butt in public.
I'm glad you shared that.
I'm real embarrassed. I'd be like, stop
But if he does it in private, it's okay?
Yeah, but not in public.
Okay, well, if nobody saw, that's your little shared moment. Your little special moment.
And PMC, you're right.
I'm all for it.
Jay Cutler actually had to spank his lineman's ass in the earlier part of last season because of what was happening. Now they got the get right machine. And so right now, you're right.
No, that's why he got sacked.
That's right.
Because he talks a lot of shit. See, sometimes linemen just say, I don't like this quarterback.
Right.
And they just say, Don McKinn.
That's right.
I don't like him.
Yeah, that's right.
And you just fall on down.
Right. It's all day.
Right. Matt said it's on YouTube.
That's right. It is because it's just one of those hits where it's in Don McKinn more than anything because he is just super aggressive. It's him. All right, so everybody know we split. So far, we got mostly spanked that ass under the right conditions with one letdown by DeVoe, but she changed her mind when it was role play. Let's go into baseball because there is a World Series coming up, you guys. And the World Series is going to be between the Detroit Tigers and San Francisco Giants. But here's what the story is so you can know, so you don't have to get unfolded with the players and the names and everything. The bottom line is the Detroit Tigers, out of best of 7 series, was up 3-1. How would you feel? Because this is going to be an easy vote. If you're the Detroit Tigers and you're up 3-1, all you got to do is win one more game and you go to the World Series. They lose the next 4 games and San Francisco heads to the World Series. Is it a letdown?
Choke
on Detroit more or big pimpin' balling that San Francisco came back and won all the games required to go to the next level? DeVoe.
Help me out, chat room. What should I say?
Say thankful we want to support all our gay friends up in San Francisco and the team.
See, this is
San Francisco.
And what about the people in Detroit? We gotta support them too.
Nah, we don't support them. They had support.
Detroit, San Francisco.
That day will come. That day.
Okay.
San Francisco. That's where you got your fashion friends.
Now, wait a minute.
You got to support them.
Now, DeVoe, I'm going to say this. I don't have to guess on how I set the story up because I did put in at the website that, of course, San Francisco's down 3-1 in the series. They came back and spanked that ass to go to the World Series.
So
now
you want me to say spank that ass?
I know. I want you to tell me who's the real superhero, the team. Don't say that. Don't tell.
You know San Francisco. Who you gonna be side on? Whose side you gonna be on?
Detroit.
Over San Francisco. Okay, all you folks up in San Francisco, you see how the vote just did you.
Mario's going because I don't know where he's leading me.
I'm just saying. Okay. Everybody can see how the vote just abandoned North Hollywood and California for Detroit. Yeah, you did. I'm just saying. I'm trying to acknowledge our community. And you just sold out for Detroit.
And let me say this.
I'm not a sellout. I wanted to pick both of them, but Victor won't let me.
Because
Norman support Detroit.
No, you can pick both of them.
Norman, what are you supporting? And
he's in Cleveland.
So what?
They
I'm
all
in
part of the
Los Angeles.
automotive
I'm not
industry.
in San Francisco. I'm not in Detroit. I don't know.
You know San Francisco,
I don't
that's where all
care.
your friends are.
So wait a
So
minute.
what? I have friends in Detroit too.
You do?
Yes.
How many?
Lots, just like in San Francisco.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll
really?
tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
I don't believe
I think
you.
that spank that ass is appropriate for this.
for San Francisco.
Cisco, yes, I do.
All right.
That's what I was saying.
But I didn't want to go with what you were saying. Whatever you say, I don't.
Mario, I don't need to even go to you because you
Okay, I
already.
can make that fun too.
Hey Norman, hey look, I knew you was going to actually say Big D because it represents
Who's Big
that.
D?
Big D is Detroit.
Norman's
It's Detroit. Because
Norman feels
you have
a
to look
more.
at it.
They do because it's a regional
Norman
thing.
said Detroit. Yes, thank you, my love.
That's regional.
Okay, so where we going with this?
They all are trying to support, just like Pitt, like PMC.
It's-
They're going to be more likely to support those teams that are in
regional.
their
It's a regional
area.
thing.
Yeah, they don't have any allegiance to San Francisco.
Now let me say something to set this up so you can understand. I'm gonna get to you too, Jezzy. So far, the state of California is not doing too bad. But you can break us up into regions because we already got the.
We got
NHL.
hockey.
We got hockey, and
Champion.
it's a chance that we may get the baseball. But
Yeah,
Southern
come
California doesn't adopt San Francisco at all. The Dodgers don't like anything
LA wins
associated with it.
everything.
So here's my question when I get to it, Jezzy, right now. If the San Francisco Giants are big pimping, because I believe you're going to probably say that.
His stuff is slighted.
No,
so
it's not.
much.
No, it's not. It's
Remember
not.
PMC
Wait. You wait. If the San Francisco Giants are big pimping, are you more in favor for the Dodgers because they're right here in your backyard? Do you root for the Giants or are you a Dodger fan?
How did the Dodgers come into this?
I want to find out your
Why are you
allegiance.
trying to be difficult?
Okay, look,
Who are you doing
I
that
know.
to, Victor?
I was
That's who
having
you should
a
be
hard
saying
enough
that.
time keeping up with the names of the team. The only thing that I know is my answer is the big pimpin' thing. For who was that? Who was that?
San Francisco.
Okay, is that who you thought I was gonna pick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Think of San Francisco.
But are you a Dodger fan?
They got Dungeness Crab.
Dodger fan.
Los Angeles Dodgers, the baseball team.
I'm
Versus
even a
who?
Dodger
San Francisco.
fan, and I don't even watch baseball.
Oh no. Okay, Dodgers.
Over
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't care.
You don't care. Whatever.
Just
You better
pretend like
care.
you
Whatever
do.
moment.
Pretend like you do, Jezzy.
Say
Yeah,
spank that ass.
Yeah.
No. Okay. No. Dodgers because we're in LA.
Thank you.
Well, PMC said the salad-eating mofos are soft.
They are PMC. He's
Okay.
right. And they do eat too much salad.
You know
Tofu.
What, PMC? I eat salad too. What is that
Tofu.
supposed to
You
be?
eat tofu?
No, but I mean that's
Salad. That's see.
No, I don't see.
See,
they don't
you
eat
need some
San
meat. That's the problem with you right now. You need some
San Francisco
beef.
are the salad eaters?
Protein.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all starve
So
for
what?
protein.
So what they're doing right now?
Too much protein.
This is what's
Better
happening.
swallow.
There's a wedge going on right now. It's the West Coast against the East Coast. So the chat room right now
It's on the East Coast.
On the East
so
Coast.
And I
I'm
was
trying-
with them
thank
too.
you.
I was with Detroit. You heard me, guys, right? I said
Why
Detroit
you with
first.
Detroit?
Okay, and then this mofo.
I'm trying to save you from your friends. You're going to get backlash for not supporting San Francisco.
No, you're right to be against Mario DeVoe.
See, so the bottom line
I'm going to
is
say you're going to get
Did
backlash.
you just tell me to eat some meat and I'll feel better?
You
Is that
will.
what Are you
Some
talking
pork.
to me?
Eat some pork.
PMC? Are you talking about the San Francisco?
Eat some pork.
Anyway, I want to move on. Can we move on, please?
my God, I don't know.
I'm
if I
worried
wanna
about your
move on.
colon.
All
You
right,
shouldn't.
know
It's
what?
just fine.
No.
All right, I'm gonna get to this last one because it's probably gonna deal with something that's a little bit different, and you don't have to follow it because if you just know bicycling in the Tour de France, the only name that's in the news is, of course, the man Lance Armstrong, and of course because of the doping that's very prevalent in bicycling and professional bicycling races.
They need to leave him alone.
Well, it caught up with him in a way that when the corporate sponsors run from you, they don't not only run from you, even if he's in denial for the allegations of doping, they still run because he's not going to defend himself and allow them, of course, to penalize him by stripping all his titles. If that's the case, I'm going to get to another question here. If that's the case, do you believe, and I'm saying this, if doping is prevalent in a particular sport, why did they wait so long when it's already been something that they can go after at the time that you're winning the championships? They already understand that doping is
Is
one
a
way.
part
They
of
have to
it.
catch up and say they're always ahead of the game of being able to get undetectable, PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. So if that's the case, why did they wait so long when they still show
they
that
made money
they're
off of
still
him?
behind in catching up with
Is
those
that
who...
it, DeVoe?
That
Is
may
that
be
it?
Well, no. I'm just asking. My thing is timing. Mario and I talked about this already. That when you get enough evidence by people who are going to cooperate,
because it mostly came from people who, in other words,
Right.
Lance Armstrong mostly got busted. As far as I know, Vic,
Yeah.
because his buddies got busted.
Right.
His main cycling buddies got busted. All the ones around him crumbled. Almost everybody around him in his camp.
Right.
So imagine we're a biking team, and I'm the leader.
right,
And the 3 other guys right behind me get busted.
right,
Okay? And
Guess
so
what?
those 3 guys, 2 or 3 of them,
right.
Rolled over on him.
no, they did, and they basically admitted everything they did and indicted him.
Yeah, and PNC said
Now,
Lance is
to
toast.
the
He's out of
degree
there.
to how do you argue with all your people?
Right.
It'd be like Vic, all y'all start saying, I saw Mario shooting up in the studio.
Yep.
Now I say, no, that was not me. I was just playing with
like
needles.
That, like training day when they were all... Okay, no.
Now, I don't know what the hell
Well,
you saying.
PNC said, they can't figure out who to put in the number 1 slot because they're all doping.
They all were. That's the whole,
take him off,
everybody.
and then what? We just don't have.
See-
we got to make money. We really don't care he's doping.
Well-
Let's make as much money as we can, and then
Right.
we'll confront it.
Right.
And it came up, you guys. The reason why it's important, like what you're saying, is because it came up in baseball. When they did the investigation of baseball with Barry Bonds and all them, basically, the report came back saying the use of steroids is so prevalent that to indict any single person
Would shut down the game.
would be selective. They said there's no way to go at any one person because it's so prevalent that any time you pick out one person, you're being selective.
Right.
Right.
Because everybody's guilty and they didn't know what to say.
So here's the part that I'm
Oh,
getting
by the
to.
way, too, Vic, the question is another level, which is subtly in there, is do the fans really care?
No.
And I'm not taking it to the fans. He's right. Well, guess what I'm taking it to?
Where?
Okay. And
I hope
we're
you're
already...
taking it to me.
Yeah, well, I am. I'm going to take it to you.
Oh, I want to get that with the camera.
You shouldn't talk like that to me on air. Okay, what I'm saying is this. Here's the part. When I ask the question, why do you take so long? Everything is strategic. Do you know how much sponsors made off of Lance Armstrong
That's what the
during the
vote said.
7 years and after?
Right.
Now,
Jack.
no,
He
hold
helped
on.
boost the
You're right.
sport
Now,
to
hold
a
on.
level of watching.
Right. Now, let me tell you what's happening here. That why I say you can get caught up in what they call the guilt, as if they make it seem like we're just like the public. The corporate is like the public. Oh, my God, we just found out. They're going to go after the
Oh,
money.
right.
They're going to go after the money to get back from Lance. You know how much money it may have cost them to invest in Lance and what he's doing in his organization. But roll back. I like
They're
liking
trying
this.
to take the money.
what
back.
did-
The
what did
money
you say?
that they're going to go after the money that's part of the
After
organization.
they've made all that
Right.
money.
The
But wait a
sponsors are
minute.
not.
No.
Who cares if they do? There's
Right.
no money.
Right. See, the corporate sponsors who are actually pulling out are saying that, you know what, we don't want to get involved anymore, and we may even come back to go after the money. It's alleged right now.
Okay.
The part I'm saying is there's been sponsors, those same sponsors been ride or die this whole time. They spend off the marketing to make more money. So their profit off of this is so large that by the
Right.
time they come
They
back and
don't
say
need
they're
land.
making a statement that, oh, we rolled this while it's rioting.
Right.
Now we're going to come back and show the public we're not for this. And I said, wait a minute, you guys are playing it both ways. You going to get the money back that you made from him?
Right.
Yeah.
He'll
It's
fight
like
it.
college football.
That
Right.
would be
Plus,
cheap.
they'll probably be able to demonstrate that they benefit from it.
Right.
Today, so it's almost like saying you're going to say I harmed your image, but at
That's
the
right.
same time you made record profits.
That's right.
In this
Right.
area off of me. So no, it's a ploy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all about money. It's all about a ploy. Remember, corporations. That's why you never show allegiance to them. They're not people.
Right.
By law, a corporation's only obligation must be to make money for its people. They're not allowed by law
To get all
to take
feely.
all feely or good. That's why they are godless, soulless things that are given human faces.
Wow.
So
Very
y'all-
well put,
now-
Mario. I'd like to put that on
Now-
a t-shirt.
You've done your research.
Right. Now,
Faceless.
Now think
godless.
about it. Now this is a story that's it's gonna be interesting because you guys
It's
are gonna
already interesting.
you guys are gonna get into a place here where you have to kind of do some judgment without having all the facts available to you. He's a cancer
I'm ready.
survivor. He won 7 consecutive Tour de France titles, which is going to be stripped. And now the book still it needs to be written because corporate is moving away from their money. So here it is. He's accused and he refuses to fight doping allegations. Corporate sponsors are removing Tour de France. But he represents being a survivor of cancer. What is the story that you're going to attach to him? Big pimpin', balling because he's a cancer survivor, or let down because of that they used that story while he was winning? Is it a letdown? Is it that he's involved in PED? If it is, and he did take it, what's the bigger picture? That he survived cancer or he did take doping? Divulge.
It's a letdown because you're a survivor of cancer and you're doping. That's kind of controversy. You know what I'm saying? It's a letdown.
Jesse, you're laughing.
No,
you're
I'm
next.
laughing. No, I'm laughing.
You're
because
laughing.
you said controversy.
You feel me?
No. So what you're saying is a letdown.
Yes.
So the
And
doping,
PMC agrees.
the doping allegations takes precedence over him being a cancer
Because
survivor.
he's cheated. You know what? You're right, PMC. He cheated. And you know, after being a cancer survivor, all right, life didn't cheat you. So why are you cheating?
I agree with the vote too. And it's the other thing. How do we not know that the doping drugs had everything to do with him getting cancer?
Right.
It probably did. Maybe
they're
it did.
hormonal agents you can take that would certainly increase your risk
Of getting
for cancer. Different, all kinds of
But
cancers.
even Mario, even if it,
And imagine a blood transfusion giving you viral infections.
But even if it isn't, isn't he afraid of getting cancer again?
Well, that's
it's
well.
like, whoa, hello?
Maybe not. I mean, in other words, when you're willing to take a blood transfusion
Hardhead.
with all the inherent risks. Remember, even though they screen blood, they can't screen for everything.
Don't scare
They can't
me, 'cause
screen
I
for
had a
everything
blood
they don't
transfusion.
know. So that's what I'm saying. So when you've had a blood, that's why they ask you on your physical, have you ever had a blood transfusion?
Yes.
Everybody wants to know that.
True, Mario.
So these are people who are doing things like that and taking other steroids. For all I know, how do we? At least you have to wonder whether or not the specific types of doping increased his risk of getting that cancer.
Yes, and he was also doing blood.
Sure, he was.
transfusion,
That's
as
right.
PMC said,
Right,
like
and that
Mario.
comes. You get a bunch of viral infections you can get from those.
Right.
So what we got right
They
now,
told me it was
you're going to remember him, even though the book is still not written. Both Mario and DeVoe are saying as a cheater.
He's a cheater.
Jesse, what do you with the book still to be written? Cancer survivor, you're going to remember, or is it a cheater who actually took doping? It's not confirmed yet. He's just denying, but there's a wealth of, they say, evidence that if he went to court, he would be guilty. That's assumption and presumption, the whole thing.
Okay,
what do you
so
think?
I said let down, but not for the same reasons that Mario and DeVoe said it. I was coming from the opposite end of the spectrum, that it's a letdown for the for the corporate sponsors who backed out.
Right.
Now, when Mario makes his
You mean it's a
point-
letdown? It was a letdown for them, or they're a letdown?
They're a letdown that
Okay.
they backed out the way
Yeah,
they
because
did.
screw the corporate sponsors.
But then when Mario started talking all that stuff about maybe through the doping he acquired the cancer.
I'm just saying, who knows what he took steroid-wise, too? There are risks of all those things.
Yep.
Because, you know, the bigger picture for me was that he's a cancer survivor and all that he's done, you know, to bring attention to, what is it, testicular cancer?
Which is true, right? And even if you go, and as Christians would say, remember, it's not the pure of us who lead the charges anyway.
Right.
It's always those of us who have been the sinners, right?
Right.
So in a sense, if we're going to throw out all the good that's done by someone who's a sinner,
Then
you
that's
will essentially
everything.
all good, right? Because don't
Get
go
me
looking at
started.
your heroes. Believe me, I got a bunch.
Don't.
Every hero that I got in the
Don't
book,
get me started.
almost every hero I have, when you go investigate,
They'll let you down.
there's some dirt in their background. Why? Because they're,
'Cause they're people.
they're human beings.
They're human beings. There's some dirt in your
They're
background
human beings.
too, Mario.
Hell, I told you, I thought we want to talk about Washington.
I know. Shut up. Anyway, back to the chat room. Matt
I
said
still
drugs are
remember.
rapid everywhere. Every DJ he knows in
Right.
Seattle back in the day was doing something, okay?
And doping is very prominent in this. It's not like he and his crew were the only ones doing it, right? Everybody.
See, that's my issue. Everybody, see, I think everybody in the whole
doing it.
sport.
Right.
See, so
Not
I have
only
trouble.
Sports, like Matt
And
said,
baseball,
so
too. I
TV
think
news
everybody.
produce personalities that he Latinos that are doing it too.
But internet television people never use drugs.
We never use drugs.
Never, they live, because we
Ever.
pure.
The pure.
Body temple.
Pure.
Driven slow.
Only dopes do dope.
Only dopes use dope.
So let me
No dope
Rasso
here.
Classico.
So let me just get my final word. We got 2 letdowns, definitely from our co-host and host in the front. You have to have 1 vote. Is it a letdown for you?
It's a letdown, but from the not the reason
I
they
like
said
that.
it.
I
It
like
Doesn't
that.
matter. It's still
In
you're
other
part
words,
of the
because
team.
the
It's a letdown.
godless,
Response?
soulless,
Yes.
gutless corporate sponsor,
Yes.
blood sucking.
Okay, calm
Because
down.
because I see him more for the charitable work that he's done.
I will say this. It is a
Wow.
Amen,
Wow.
Mario.
Let me say this. It reminds me of that movie that came out called on Any Given Sunday. If we were all in the boardrooms, corporations, the back decision rooms, politics, sports, and everything, they govern to say we're going out to get a return of value on this.
Yeah, it's a win-win
And they're
for
going to
them.
always make money. So the thing that I'm more affected by, because I was at whatever. Whatever means to me was, okay, when you make him out to be as bad as everybody else, when everybody else was doing it, you're using him as the poster boy because
Right.
he won more. And especially over in the Tour de France in France, where they're not really celebrating any American
Right.
that wants to be champion.
And they
So
kind
they're-
of stuffy
right.
they damn self.
They are.
Right, they're not celebrating that. Now, I'm not
Y'all
saying...
know how you are in France.
So
I've been there.
I'm saying
too.
this. I understand people who have cheated. I'm not endorsing that, nor do I endorse anybody using PEDs. But he's the one athlete I can turn around and say there's some people probably been affected from what he has done to bring more light to what he has done as being able to overcome cancer. And because that's way bigger to me than any goddamn sport called bicycling,
Right.
I'm at whatever. To me, I'm not going to penalize him yet for that because it's too much of the corporation that's involved in it.
Okay.
And it's too many other athletes in bicycling who are getting away without even getting the same amount of wealth of media on them.
Right.
And we treat it a little bit different. We want to be able to exact this example to say we're protecting our kids. We want to make it so it's right. And we want.
Right.
I got that. I said, but why does he have to be the poster boy? And what's our answer? Because he won more titles. I
Well,
said,
somebody
so-
does.
My-
But go, Victor, going back to that Mike with the dog thing, and I'll always stand to this. When you know that you're up there, you're making that kind of money, you're a celebrity, there's a responsibility you must take. You are not an ordinary person. Period.
You're not?
If you want to be ordinary, go be a plumber. Okay, but if you are a
Plumbers
celebrity,
are going to come after you.
I don't care. Plumbers aren't going to get the media the way a celebrity is, and that's just
Unless
the
you're
reality,
Joe.
really. Okay, who?
Would
But-
you say? Let me say
Joe.
this: Did he not, as a cancer survivor, did he inspire people who are not involved in athletics?
There you go.
Of
That's
course
a big.
he did.
It's bigger.
But now,
wait.
that
just
he's
saying.
inspired, now we can look back and say, but you're doing something that's going to bring back cancer to you. I mean, come on.
We
that's
don't know that.
Okay.
If it's true,
We don't know
if
that.
it's true, nobody knows the real deal. But we're talking about if it's true, because you said it was a
Right.
humongous amount of evidence. So
It is a humongous
we want to
amount of
say back
evidence.
to you. Boo on you,
But wait
being
a minute.
survivor, and then you're doing a drug that
So-
could give cancer to you. Are we
He
real
may
here?
not be coming from that perspective.
It
He may
doesn't
not be
matter.
looking at all that.
Then that
He
lets
wanted
us
to
know.
win. He wanted to win. They're going
right.
to
So
take
his health-
to take a blood
But
transfusion.
back to
Think about that.
His health was
You
not
keep
as
going back to the
important.
blood transfusion.
That's a big deal to go through
Right.
that with all
And
the
taking the
questions.
drugs.
Yes.
When I had a blood transfusion.
I'm just saying, but if you need blood, it's one thing. I mean, it's
they
one
told
thing.
me it was
But-
safe.
It can be
Relatively,
safe. It can be.
relatively, I mean, as safe as they can make it.
So okay, so I mean, don't trip her out, Mario.
I
It is
know.
I
safe.
mean, you screen, they screen the blood for hepatitis and
Blood
HIV,
transfusions
other
every
types of
day.
infections, but you can only screen for those things that you know exist and for which you have screening tests. And remember,
okay.
some of the hepatitis that they diagnosed today didn't even exist 15 years ago because they didn't have tests for them.
You don't have
So
to
no one
worry.
knew.
He's making
Jazzy,
it worse.
do
In
not
other words,
worry.
no, I'm saying I wouldn't
Relax
worry,
into
but
it.
I wouldn't
I
get
wouldn't
blood
take-
transfusions unless I needed blood. How's that?
Well, that's what she got.
And
the
today
blood
they weigh it
I
differently
knew they
about when
said
you
I
transfuse.
needed it.
So,
Well, it's not an issue.
Back to this
If
guy
you're in an
here.
accident
call
or
me
you
in the middle of the
surgical,
night to come
something
do it.
like that, or you have an anemia that requires that kind of a treatment, that's different. But to do it because you want to win at cycling,
Oh, right.
that's an issue of which I'm saying. Same thing with taking those kinds of
Oh, I made it
steroids.
about me.
I know.
Well, yeah, if you
That's
take
but it's-
steroids,
but you know what? No, but
affects
you know
your
what?
whole body.
Let me tell you why. Now you see what I'm talking about.
Right.
He was a cancer survivor before this. So to a part I'm looking at is what are you remembering him for? That's all I'm saying.
I remember his charitable work.
That's all I'm saying.
I remember that
Are
he's taking drugs.
PEDs inherently negative? Remember PED. Because if PEDs are inherently negative, what about Viagra and Cialis?
Because they all
enhance.
They enhance.
You're not in a competition. You're not in a competition with Viagra.
Well, we're in competition
again,
with women.
like I said,
you don't know that.
When you're put out on the front page and you're becoming an example,
right?
And that's going back to our youth again, Victor, as you put it.
Yeah.
There's a responsibility. Yep. Period. If you don't like being on the front page, then do something else.
Right. But
that's
my experience is that people don't change inherently because success grabs them.
No, they don't.
In other words, here you going along, right, DeVoe?
All right.
And doing your regular thing. You know, whatever that is. Here come now you're famous. You're still you now. You can't expect the people to immediately say, I'm a role model. Let me change everything I've ever done. That's the true reality of it.
And I'm not saying you have
they may do incremental change, but what if that's what you were doing?
But when you get picked on, or when you're used as an example, as a poster child, don't be surprised. Of course,
no, you can't be surprised,
because
even though
that comes along with your territory, that comes along with your career.
But look at the athletes that don't step up.
You can be Joe Bird if you want to.
Right, but so I'm acknowledging that. We're just saying most athletes, like most human beings, will fail to step up.
Exactly.
Most will.
But I don't
Not
think he
most
was
will
upset,
rise.
Most
will
fail.
fail.
Seems like he's chill with it, whatever. The part
because he knows he cheated. When you cheated like that, you cheated methodically and got away with it for years and years. You get a whole different mentality. Right, you're like, I've been getting away with this shit so long. Now you dare to bust me?
But wasn't everybody doing it?
Well, like I said, he got away. He got away with it. He got away with it.
Let me say this.
Norman's like, right.
Let me say this. Here's the other part. They really only go after the ones who are the winners.
Right. Who goes after losers? Who cares?
Losers get away because they're losing. So if they don't equally give you the same amount for obvious reasons.
Right.
That's
all I'm saying. So that's why I said, what am I remembering him for? Yeah. That he's the cancer survivor still sticks in my head more than this, because I'm going, once it's trickled down through media and corporate, they can frame you to be the bad guy. And I hear Charles Barkley going, I'm not a role model. That's up to your parents. And the kids, like Mario says, they said, look, we're not running around with our heads chopped off, scared to death about this. So this is an adult machine that's taking it and painting a picture of an individual. Right. It's like politics. I said, they cheat, lie, and deceive. But you do still pick one to be an example, don't you?
Right.
For other reasons. I'm saying, I'm going to pick him to say, the cancer survivor story still overwhelms me more than anything because of what he did for people before he even won a championship.
So he did something, a lot of good.
Yes.
Right.
And I'll name Kwanzaa as my example of something that's invented by a person of dubious character. Okay. That goes on to become of certain value. We won't go into that too deep.
Just name all the heads of all the festivals.
Okay, I'm just saying.
That's my new sports, you guys. We ran along. You guys were really, you guys feeling it. So if you ever take any PEDs, call a brother.
Get some PED, penis in those. Performance. That's what I meant. Performance enhancing.
No, don't.
Check your P's and Q's and come back to New Sports.